All right, so let me just demonstrate to you, even though I know it will be hard for you to see it, but let me just demonstrate to you that no matter what value you put on SEKIRO HDR, you will not see that difference. Okay, why? Because they're using a very old technique, tone mapping, that was used and created by Eric Reinhardt. He did this algorithm, he showed this technique back in 2002, and that was pretty groundbreaking back then for the 8-bit televisions. But considering we have a 10-bit televisions and we have a much higher value of peak brightness, and the HDR10, it's a 10-bit, requires a higher value of peak brightness in order for it to truly blossom. How do you achieve that? You will achieve that by proper tone mapping. Here they used an old tone mapper known as Reinhardt, which is made by Eric Reinhardt, which is also designed mainly for the 8-bit television. So here, let me give you one quick example. Let's go to the HDR here. Let's go to picture quality. Here, I set my values to 700. Hold on here. Let me adjust my picture quality a little bit. I adjusted my value at 700 and the picture is still the same. I can adjust my value to 500 and picture will still be the same. Here I am, the value at 500 and it's still the same. It's still the same. Why? Because there's really no tone mapping for the peak brightness. You're not really achieving anything here. Let's move our value to 1000. Let's see what happens. It's still the same. Still the same. Let's go up to 1500. Let's go to 1500. Let's see what happens. It's still the same. Let's go up to 2000. Let's go up to 1900. See if anything different. It's still the same. And let's go up to 2000. Hold on. 2000 right here. See what happens. See what happens. Let's see what happens. I'm not gonna even edit it right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and click OK. Still the same value. Why that is? Why that is? Because they're using that old rendering, tone mapping for the HDR. Or better yet, the proper word I should have used, tone mapping implications. Okay, they're using an old tone mapping implications. They're like 15 years old. They're not even designed for today's 10-bit HDR. Okay, I'm pretty sure you guys know how 10-bit HDR looks. If you have a proper tone mapped 10-bit HDR content, you know exactly the kind of results you're gonna have on that. So you want to call this a fake HDR? Call it fake HDR. But let me turn off the HDR. I'm gonna turn off the HDR right now. I'm gonna turn it off. We'll leave it here. I'm gonna turn off the HDR right now. And I turned off the HDR and it looks more redefined without HDR. Look at this. It looks more redefined. It looks better without HDR, man. So here I am, not even using the HDR, and it looks better. So yeah, turn off that HDR, man. Honestly, might as well turn it off. You're gonna get much better, in my opinion, quality here without HDR. So you see, you still have the same options even without HDR. You still have the same options on the picture quality. All right, so guys, this is a fake HDR. Just don't use it. Here I am without HDR, and I'm getting a much better peak brightness on this OLED, much better quality. So don't use HDR on SEKIRO. Do yourself a favor, dude. Avoid that Reinhardt old tone mapping. Well, there you go. Thank you for watching this video.